So welcome, everybody. I am glad you're joining me for this webinar. Learn how to start how to start a business helping families manage their going photo collections. So my first question for you is, are you the person who takes all the photos, turning them into photo albums or gifts? Are you interested in family history? Do you love sharing old family photos? Did you scan all your own family photos, or did you inherit boxes of photos? Are you the person who, or maybe somebody passed away recently and you realized, gosh, there's such a need for this, or somebody downsized? There is a wonderful business out there helping people curate, save, and share their families and stories, and the world really needs you. My name is Cathi Nelson. I'm the CEO and the founder of the Photo Managers. We are a global educational association that I started in 2009, quite a while ago now. And over the past 14 years, we've experienced tremendous growth, and the need is only increasing. We offer free weekly classes, an annual conference, professional certification, and a very supportive, engaged community in this growing profession. I'm also the author of 2 books, Photo Organizing Made Easy, Going from Overwhelmed to Overjoyed, which is all about your analog photos with a little bit on digital. And then also I co-wrote a book with Jill Yesko called A Business Roadmap for Professional Photo Organizers, Everything You Need to Grow and Start a Thriving Business. So the agenda for today is really is to share 3 things with you. The top 10 reasons people hire a professional photo manager, so you understand why there really is a need and what it is that, and who they most likely are, and what are the services that you can provide. What we've learned over the years that it takes to be successful. And then last of all, why joining the Photo Managers is a worthwhile investment. And then we also leave plenty of time for Q&A. You can go ahead and put them in the chat. Tim will be dropping a few little links in throughout the process, and we will make sure to answer all your questions. If you have none, I don't believe that. I probably have an idea of what some of them will be, and I'll kind of answer a few without you asking them, just because I've done this for many years, and I kind of know a lot of the questions that people may not feel comfortable asking on a webinar. So let's start with the reason why this is such a need, right? We live in an increasingly complex technical world. Yet as human beings, one thing hasn't changed, and that is our need to tell a story. It's through stories that we connect. It's one of the ways that and one of the main ways that we tell our stories today, and have since the invention of a camera, is through our photos, videos, and also we add this now, keepsake memorabilia. There are stories in the items that we can't help ourselves, we can't let go of, right? Yet most people admit to feeling completely overwhelmed, especially by their photo collection. They just don't have time to sort through and organize thousands upon thousands of photos they are accumulating, let alone print them. The result is a consumer who is completely overwhelmed and often paralyzed. In addition to those digital photos, hundreds of thousands of printed photos languish still in shoeboxes and drawers, faded photo albums, all those amazing scrapbook albums that I will admit I was one of, that I created for my kids, that they don't want those big albums. They want a smaller footprint in their homes. So many of us still have, a lifetime of analog photos. We also have lots of home movies of birthday parties or baby's first steps and weddings that are trapped in outdated media format, right? Who on this call has a camcorder still, or a VCR player, or even now a DVD player, right? All of that is becoming increasingly obsolete. Unfortunately, every day, the photos and videos that people cherish are also at risk of being lost due to increasing weather extremes and technology mishaps. I wish I didn't have this in my slide screen, but because when I did this I think I redid this a couple months ago, I said the past month families have lost everything from the fires in Maui, Washington State, British Columbia, to the hurricanes in California and tornadoes on the East Coast. Those of you that might be here in the US, I'm not sure where everybody's coming in from. Tennessee just had terrific, horrible tornadoes. I know lives were lost, and you see those images that are also familiar on the news, and you wonder, gosh, I mean, it just seems like it's happening all the time. And we know that probably in those homes that were just destroyed were probably a lifetime of people's family photos. And if they weren't digitized, backed up, and put in a safe place, they are lost forever, or, people are finding them, acres away, right? So the goal when I do that isn't to create fear, but the need is real, and people are realizing they need to act now before it's too late. So the result of that is a need, a solution, right, has emerged, and they are called professional photo organizers, and they step in to fill this need. There are now hundreds of professional photo organizers all around the world offering a variety of solutions. And I love the fact how global and worldwide we are. Here's a picture from our conference in Orlando with lots of people, friendly people waving their photo, waving to us. And We had people at that conference from the Netherlands, from London, from South Africa, from Colombia, from Brazil, Australia. So we truly are a global organization. So reason number one, okay, digital photo overload. With the advent of smartphones and digital cameras, people take more photos than ever before. I'm sure all of you on this call can relate, right? And managing those digital images can quickly become overwhelming. The client who hired somebody for digital photo organizing is usually a professional mom who is really busy. She cares deeply about her family photos, but she doesn't have time. A professional photo organizer would create a plan with her, including gathering all the photos into what we call a digital photo hub. So they're in one place instead of 1,000 different places. Remove all the duplicates and create an easy to find shareable collection using different software based on the client's skill level. The second reason is preservation. Many families have old analog photos, slides, and negatives deteriorating over time. Professional photo organizers can help digitize and preserve those valuable memories for future generations. The client for this group ranges in age from 55 to 90. They may be ready to downsize, and they're wondering who cares about those family photos. A photo organizer meets with that client to create a plan, which often includes scanning. And I'm going to tell you right now, everybody cares about those photos. They just don't want all of the photos that a family has inherited. But if you can take and help a client sort through and curate the 20% best photos and put them in a photo sharing site, that generation that everybody thinks isn't interested in photos, it's not true. They care deeply about the photos. They just need to access them differently than they have in the past. Another reason people will hire somebody is memorabilia, what we call memorabilia management, right? Not only do people have photos, but they also often have letters, certificates, and keepsakes. Professionals can curate and preserve those items in many meaningful ways. This client is often in their 40s and 50s. A parent may have recently passed away, or their kids are leaving home, and they want to ensure they don't lose access to those items that they care so much about. Again, this is a perfect example of with these, extreme weather things. If there were letters of great value and a teapot maybe, or a plate, or I don't know, a teddy bear, your child's first toy. I mean, I still have my son's little stuffed animal that he carried everywhere as a baby, and he's 30 now, and I hope he'll pass it on. Those are the items that need to be curated, stories told and shared as well. It's not just the photos. Another common reason is what we call, these are like trigger events, right? During something's coming up, a wedding, a reunion, a milestone birthday. This is, people take lots of photos of that. Professional photo organizers can help curate that collection from those events, right? This includes clients of all ages. And a lot of times from that will be they can create a keepsake photo book or a video montage. Or they can create those events, those special keepsake items before the event. So for instance, my son got married this past Labor Day, and I'd seen it many times, and I wanted to be the person to create the video montage of him as a baby growing up, and then Kate, and then them meeting, and then the music, and there wasn't a dry eye in the house, right? That's an amazing time. But to do that, I had to find the right photos. I had to get her parents to get the photos. They didn't get around to getting the photos. I had to find the aunt to get the photos. You know how that goes. But a professional can really help that. Now, as I go through this, I want to stress that our members do not offer all these services that I'm telling you about. Many times they might start out thinking I'm going to do all of this, but usually as their business grows, they start to focus on what they really enjoy and outsource the rest, oftentimes to other professionals. So we have members who have no interest whatsoever in digital photo organizing. They just say, I only want to do analog. I want to touch and feel photos and scan photos. We have professionals that then will manage that part of the project, and vice versa. So keep that in mind so you don't feel overwhelmed. Another reason is people just don't have time, right? They are busy with their lives, and they just don't have time. And they often can be single, working professionals, and people who will invest their money into things like their travel. Pets is a big one. We show this picture of a dad and a baby, but honestly, we could easily have shown a picture of somebody with their dog. I mean, dogs or cats or whatever pets that you have, they have become part of our families, right? And a lot of times people want to do something fun with those photos. And so these are people who have invested money in major travel events, caring deeply for their pets, hobbies, and things like that. And they just don't have time to document that. They are a great client. Technology challenges, right? Keeping up with changing technology, software and storage options can be daunting. And we have the expertise in this area. People just don't have, you don't have time to know that Shutterfly, for instance, shut down, or Costco shut down their photo printing session, and that Shutterfly shut down a big portion of that. Or Apple tomorrow, for all we know, Apple's going to announce a major change in the entire way that we manage our Apple photo library. We stay on top of that, and we offer a tremendous amount of training. We have many experts within our community who then update our members who don't understand technology once about technology. But that's when a client really can use your help. They just need help. A lot of times they'll maybe pay for like a 3 or 4 hour coaching or just one-on-one assistance. They just want somebody to kind of hold their hand throughout the process. Reason number 7 is photos carry deep emotional significance for individuals and families. We help create organized systems that preserve those emotional connections tied to those images. If you had seen that video, you would see what I mean about the emotional value, right, of photos. Also, there's a lot of times it's personal projects, especially like this is a perfect time of year. Probably, I know many of our members that make photo books are just jammed right now, completing multiple projects of family photo albums for gifts for either Hanukkah or under the tree. A lot of times they make multimedia presentations. So professional photo organizers help with all of those types of projects. Another significant audience that we work closely with are downsizing seniors who are moving, right? When people downsize their homes and move, they have to decide what to keep, what to get rid of, and how to organize their photos and memorabilia. We actually work closely with another group called Senior Move Managers. There are professionals who actually manage entire moves, and they work closely with professional photo organizers about what to do with all those boxes of photos that the family really wants, but usually when they're in the stress of a middle of a move, they just need somebody to come take all that stuff away from them, take it back to their home office, and do that work while they are busy with the emotional experience of the move. And then last of all, and there's many more, I could have gone on well beyond 10, but this is an area that's really growing, and it's something that we care deeply about, and it's called legacy planning. People want to ensure that their visual legacies are well organized and can be passed down for future generations. Professional photo organizers can assist in creating plans for long-term photo management. One of the things that we have found is that is starting to happen more. People are talking about living funerals, or, you know, why do we wait until the funeral to show a person's life? And so our members are finding people, hiring them more and more to do kind of like a living legacy, which makes so much sense when you think about it. And we're actually working on a new certification program where we'll be training our members with best practices and a strong code of ethics about this whole process of legacy planning. We're bringing in guest experts to talk about conversations to have. And again, it doesn't always have to be around, you know, somebody has Alzheimer's or, you know, a cancer diagnosis or something. It really is a way to just say that we all have a story to tell and we all have a legacy. And so that's really a growing area of interest within our organization. Okay, so I gave you, you know, my 10 reasons why. So hopefully your mind is, you know, you're thinking to yourself, wow, I know somebody, you have to know somebody in some of those categories that I tried for you, right? But we also have done this long enough that we know what it is that makes a photo manager really successful. And in a minute, I'm going to talk to you about what we equip you with. How do we help you start a business? How do we help you stay in business? How do we help you stay a member for the life of your business? But before I do that, I want to talk about the 4 characteristics that I've noticed over the years, because I want you to be honest with yourself about because starting and owning your own business takes tenacity, it takes courage, and it takes commitment. Successful photo organizers often demonstrate the following. First of all, they're curious about people, history, or ideas, right? You have to have a certain amount of curiosity if you're going to be helping somebody with their photo collection. Are you the person when you meet somebody new and you think, oh, you know, where did you grow up? Or where did you go to school? Or, you know, those kind of questions that you ask? Or are you the person who just thinks, ugh, I don't care, I don't want to know that? But you do need to have a certain amount of curiosity, because that's a really important piece of the puzzle. Ideally, you're passionate about photos and stories. Again, because they go hand in hand. Many of our members feel like this is an honor and a privilege to work with their clients. And I feel the same way. It's something that it's the great enjoyment out of the process. Also, you need to be a lifelong learner. And what I mean about that is that you need to be willing to research and learn how to do something that you may not be comfortable with, that you know that, okay, I'm just going to take a deep breath. You know, I got a client a new client hired me and they came with a movie format. I've never seen it. It doesn't look like a VCR tape. It doesn't look like a camcorder tape. What is it, right? If that causes you to just panic, then this may not be the right business. If you're a person who thinks, well, you know what, there's Google, or I can ask my professional community, then this is a good career for you. But there's definitely many times when things just don't work right, especially when we're dealing with technology. And I've learned and I've watched it myself. I have become much better at, recently I couldn't get my Zoom video camera wasn't working on my brand new MacBook. That would cost me a fortune. And I spent the first month trying, Googling and thinking that I was doing something wrong, which is so typical, till I finally contacted, email support, and email support let me know that I hadn't done anything wrong. The camera wasn't working. But that's a perfect example, right? If you go right to that place, like, oh, I did something wrong, then and instead of realizing that maybe sometimes the system doesn't work, then and you don't panic. That's important. And I want to stress, you don't have to be tech savvy, but you do need to be willing to learn new technology. And there is a learning curve, as I mentioned. And we are very closely involved in what's happening in technology. And we are an organization made up of many women and men, but also wide variety of ages and experience and expertise. So we're very patient and we understand the learning curve. But those are things that I just wanted to make sure. If you said yes to those personality traits, you're going to be a great fit. So now let's talk about the photo managers, who we are and why we've been so integral into this growing profession. And okay, there's the little slide about, and these are all real photo managers that you're seeing photos of. So we are, as I mentioned, a global organization that serves professional photo organizers through training, professional certification, partnerships, and educational conferences. We currently have over 700 professionals who all share the same passion, a desire to help people and businesses curate their collections so they can share their stories. To become a member of the Photo Managers, you pay an annual membership fee. You can choose to pay it quarterly, which is $175 a quarter, or save $100 and pay annually. And doing that gives you access to all the training, support, and resources. Our goal is not to add a lot of additional expenses to your business, but to help give you all the resources that you need to grow and build a thriving business long into the future. So you might be asking yourself, I would be, why would you pay us, the photo managers? What's your return on investment? What's the value to you? I always tell people this is what keeps me up at night, making sure that I am creating value to members so that they stay members for a long time, because I don't want to recreate this process either over and over again. So these are the things that we provide for you. We call it a business in a box because we have all walked the walk, and we will come alongside you to ensure a quicker road to success. In that box is not really a box. You don't really get a box. But what we include is, first of all, community. Our overall philosophy is a rising tide lifts all boats, and we are collaborative, not competitive. We build community through regional meetings. You can get together, you'll get introduced to your regional leader, even including if you're in Australia or if you're in Europe, it doesn't matter, South America. We have communities that meet monthly. You'll be joining, you can join Zoom meetings and get to know people that live within a general geographic view. We have a private Facebook group, which is really like a 24-hour hotline of answers to questions. We do monthly networking meetings, and we have a mentorship program. Now, another key component of our values is education, and that includes monthly training webinars every month with subject matter experts on topics that are of value to you. We record all those, and those are added in our training vault. So we have an extensive library of great training that you have access to. For instance, like how, from a great accountant and bookkeeper, she did it last January, you could go back, what are the tax advantages of being a small business owner, and what can you write off and what can't you write off? I mean, that's already ready for you to learn from. We also have certification. We established our professional certification to increase your knowledge and understanding of photo management best practices and industry standards. We don't teach you how to do photo organizing in that. What we actually teach you is industry standards. And then as part of the certification process, you document working with the client from start to finish. And while you're documenting that process, we know that you're using what we call best practices. Like, how often do you get in touch with your client? How do you send an invoice? How do you wrap up a project? How do you price a project? What does it all that look like? At that point, once you complete all that, you can you upload all the documentation, and then you have an interview with me. People ask a lot of times, well, how long does it take to become certified? You can complete the course in a weekend, but what takes time is finding that paid client project and documenting the process. We don't keep track of that. It's up to you. So we have some members who've been doing this for 2 years, 3 years before they get certified. Some people get certified within months, but it does allow you to be found and seen on our search directory. So it is something of great value. And it's also set high standards in the industry, especially our code of ethics, because when you're dealing with a client's photos, you have to agree to privacy. There's significant issues about privacy. And so we have a strong code of ethics, and we educate you quite a bit about that, copyright issues and all sorts of things. So it's really important. And it's kept the level of people know that when they're working with a certified photo manager, we vetted them for them. And last of all, is partnerships. You get significant discounts from our partners, such as Archival Methods, Nixplay. The list goes on. We work, there's a great guy named Robert. He owns a company called Projector. We have helped them. This is a streaming app for your home movies. It's a brilliant concept. He loves us. We have helped him perfect that product that he's just now coming to market with. And so you get to meet all sorts of really cool companies that are really excited to work with you to learn about ways to improve their product before they bring it to the community. So last of all, if you're ready to join, we would love to have you. If you join by the end of the month, we will send you 2 recent training classes from our recent virtual conference. We do 2 conferences a year. We do a in-person and virtual conference in the spring, which is like a 2 or 3 day educational conference. And then we do a 2-day conference in the fall, all about pricing, all the different questions that people have about pricing. Last year, just this last November, we had 2 that were standouts. One was standardizing a photo organizing project of any size, because you're going to get clients with projects of multiple sizes. I work with a guy here I know locally. He just sent me a picture of, he picked up 3 bins of photos from a family who didn't know what they had in there. And by the time he counted, I think they had over 8,000 photos. But you could also pick up a shoebox of photos, right? Or maybe 3 home tapes. But so how do you standardize that process? And then also, how do you take a lifetime of photos in a series of photo books? Those will be included in your, for free. It'll be in your photo course library. And so those are part of if you join. So in conclusion, here we have some QR codes for you to scan. We would say, don't take our word for it. Every month we do a video, we call it Career Advice from a Pro. It's all up on YouTube, where I ask different pros from all different walks of life the same 5 questions. How did you learn about becoming a photo manager? How do you find your clients? What do you love about your job? What don't you like about your job? Because there's both, right? And then what has been the advantage of, why do they enjoy being a member of the photo manager? So it's a great way you can go back. There's quite a few of those to listen. You're welcome to set up a call with me. And we also have a great video testimonial from our members that you can watch by using that handy dandy QR code. So hopefully that has been, I've answered quite a few of your questions and things like that. I'm going to stop my share, and I'm going to come back online. And I am here to answer any questions. So Kim, do we have any questions that I can answer for people?
So Barbara has asked, how about pricing? How much should a new person charge?
Yes, that's a $1 million question, right, Kim?
Yeah.
But we do a lot of training that on the beginning. The way I'm going to help you get started, Barbara, it depends on where you live. But the first thing is professional service providers, the cost per hour is already established in your community. And the way you can figure out what that number is by what is a professional massage therapist, a bookkeeper, you get hurt, like a physical therapist, a professional therapist, anybody who works in a residential organizer. If you ask them, what do you charge per hour? You're going to get a standard. It's going to be pretty standardized. It's going to range anywhere from a low, probably of 55 to 60, depending on if you're in a more rural area, all the way up to as high as 175, even 200 if you're in a very densely populated LA, New York. That's where you start that's how you're going to start out your pricing, because you have to remember, as a small business owner, when you're not working for somebody and it's not collecting a paycheck for showing up and doing your work, your hourly fee has to cover all your costs of doing business, which is your marketing, driving to and from a client's home, the time that you spent watching a training video, right? That's what's included in your hourly pricing. And then from there, we do a lot of training on pricing per item or per hour for scanning and things like that. So that's all included, but hopefully that gives you a general idea to get started.
That's the only question we have right now. The other thing I would just mention as we're waiting to see if we have more questions is the Facebook members group. We have a Facebook members group, and that's a great place to ask questions like that. People will help you there. And then annually, we do something called Profitability Live, where we talk a lot about how to price things, how different people do work, and how to really think of your business and make a profit with your business.
Yeah, the profitability part is really critical too, is understanding, profits, and then also deciding what, who your ideal client is. Some of our members, one of our members, she calls herself the Tiffany of photo organizing, right? So she's going to charge a lot more for what she does because that's the client. She realized the more she charged, sometimes the clients are happier to pay, because it's a psychological thing. So how much, Darlene asked, how much is it cost to join? It's $175 a quarter, which is rolling quarters, or it's $599 a year, which you save $100. We do not, we have a 30-day money back guarantee. I don't think we've ever had anybody take us up on that, but we would. We do not, you can quit at any time. We're not interested in, this really has to be the right fit for you. So we're not interested in keeping your money if it's not a good fit. And our goal is, again, to provide all those resources so that really it's like, it's really a starter, a way to get your business started and up and running a lot faster than you could possibly do by trying to figure this all out by yourself. And then also just the advantages of the discounts from our products, from the companies that we work with alone can pay that back pretty quickly. Any other questions? I know another one I usually get asked is, how do people find clients? An important part about that is, okay.
Somebody just asked that. How do you find clients? What support do we offer? How do we find the niche we're best suited for? Or what marketing techniques do you recommend?
Pretty good, right? I know.
I've been
doing this a while. I could anticipate that. Okay, let me think about that. There's a lot of questions right in there. But first of all, people buy on emotion, not on logic, right? So the key is, and we do, again, all this is included in the training and the conversations we have. But that video I tried to show you that I couldn't get to, but that shows the difference between logic and emotion, right? So you can say to people, I'm going to start a business organizing photos, or you can say, hey, how would you feel if all the photos that you care most about, you could find easily, and you could hear your mother's or your father's voice again for the first time on a streaming app of your TV? What would that feel like to you? Right? Those are two very different ways of marketing. They're the same idea, but you're just helping people capture something. So we talk a lot about language and what it is that you're actually selling people that you do for them. As far as finding the niche, that takes a while for people to kind of decide what they like to do. I think I'm always surprised when I hear, somebody, the last career advice from a pro, Terry's a real introvert. She's admitted that she doesn't like even talking to people. She loves being in her home studio or scanning photos. That's like what she cares most about. Where, you could talk to another member who says, I don't like scanning photos. I think it's the most tedious, boring thing that I could ever do. So again, you don't know that probably until you try that. And so hopefully I've done that.
Yeah. So how do you know if this business is right for you? What are some of the things that help you know that?
Okay, I went back. I'll go back over that. I did that in the presentation.
Yeah, she joined a little late.
Oh, you joined late. Okay, and then this is always worth repeating. And I'm just going to look at my notes again, even though I know this off the top of my head. I'm going to. Okay. 4 things. Are you curious about people, history, and ideas? Because you have to have a certain amount of curiosity, right? If a person calls you and they want to talk to you about their family photo collection, you need to be curious and ask them questions. Tell me about, where are your photos? Tell me about how many people are in your family. Tell me about what would a positive outlook look like? I used to say, if I could wave a magic wand over your whole photo collection and it's 6 months from now, what would make you say that I'm so glad I met Cathi? That was the best investment. I can't wait to tell everybody about it, right? That requires a certain amount of curiosity. So an ability to ask those kind of questions and be curious is really important. A passion about photos and stories, right? A real interest in the topic. This is not marketing, this is this is emotion, this is people's history, this is their legacy, this is the story of their lives. And so having that passion for that is really important. But the third one I think is most critical. Are you a lifelong learner? Because technology does keep changing, and you don't have to know all technology. You can choose not to. Again, I'm just using, because I just interviewed her, I'm using Terry as an example. She's been a member from the beginning since like 2013. She doesn't really like technology, digital technology. She finds it intimidating, but she has learned it. She goes back and she watches things over and over again. So I think a willingness to learn, to Google, to ask for help, to know that you can get help and not to panic when technology doesn't work. You'll get more confident over that in time, but really if you're knowing that even going in is really important. And understand there's a learning curve. So not only will you in the beginning be learning how to start a business if you've never had a business, you're also going to be learning new terms and new technology. So just kind of be kind to yourself with a patience, that knowing that the first year is definitely, your brain will hurt a lot, but then it does even out. Kim has been a member for a few years. She now works with us, but can you relate to that, Kim?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, it don't get overwhelmed from the beginning. Take the information just as you need it. And try it. I mean, you really have to try it. And that's also partly how you learn what your niche is, right? So the more I did digital organizing, the more I knew I didn't want to do digital organizing. So you just have to really try it and see where you feel comfortable.
All right, I think Jay asked.
Okay, somebody would like, Javier would like you to describe what they get for the year subscription, and how do you start a business from ground zero?
Training is actually is part of our curriculum. So the first course that you have access to, you have all these, is organizing your clients' printed photos. So this is a course that we did. It's different than organizing your own photos. When you think about your own, it's just going to be different. So this was taught by Sandra Williams, one of our expert members. She's been doing it for a really long time. It's everything you need to organize a client's printed photo collection, for what to talk to them about up front, all the sorting steps to final storage and delivery. We also have the building blocks of digital photo organizing, everything you need to understand about how digital photo organizing also works. This is built into your membership. We don't recommend that you take all the courses at once because, again, you could get overwhelmed, but these are really places that you can go back to them anytime. This business foundation course is where you would start if you've never been in business, because we've had most members that have joined have never been in business. And over the years, we realized, wow, we need to really help people just understand how to have a business. So in this business foundation course, we talk about, what is the need? What are the tools you need? What are your business startup costs? How to choose the services, pricing and profitability, different workflow, how to use help through outsourcing, how to plan your customer journey, how to find photo organizing clients, and a checklist to make sure that you're ready to launch your membership. So these are included as core in your membership. We also have a tremendous amount of additional, our member-only Facebook group. We have our regional groups and meetings, and then we also have a significant amount of additional training that's built into your membership that we do every. I'm just trying to think of what we just did. What are some of the trainings we just did? Off the top of my head, it's funny, I can't remember.
Some of the trainings we just have recently done.
Yeah, I was just trying to think this past month in November, what did we do? We did, it was how to use Canva. It was
how to use Canva, yep.
To make photo books, and also for social media marketing.
Yeah.
We also, so we did a whole, what's that?
And we've done some Milio trainings recently as well.
Right. Milio is a great partner of ours. It's a very robust photo organizing software program that many of our members are shifting to. We have a wonderful relationship with them. We do a lot of training with them, and they're looking also to send leads to our members because they don't want to be the help desk for their company. And so as our members get certified, they're sending them business. We also have what we call business resources. So you don't have to reinvent the wheel. We have our client needs assessment, our gathering photos checklist, sample contracts, a community presentation you could take right away to your local library or your local, community center, and just switch out my photos with your photos. And so those are just some examples of all the things. We also have a whole series on business systems for success. What does a project management program look like? Why do you need standard operating procedures? Again, all of that is in there. So that just gives you a little bit more idea of some of the things. I just didn't want to go through all of that again.
Okay. Clarissa was wondering, if within the training, are there anywhere we teach people how to edit photos, for example, Adobe's family or other programs?
When we get into the real specifics, like how-tos of like that, you can find that anywhere. I mean, just Google it or YouTube videos and stuff. So we don't have really specific training on editing. Also AI, we do have a whole series on what's been new in AI, and a lot of AI programs actually do a lot of that at this point, even though the general public isn't going to be using that AI. So the additional cost for training would be if you really wanted to do a deep dive into using Lightroom as a professional photo organizer. We have a course taught by a Lightroom expert. I think it's $99, but it's a really deep dive into how to use Lightroom. So we try to do as many of the courses we can for free. The few that we charge for a deeper dive are actually taught by our subject matter experts and members, and they are compensated for teaching the course. So that's why there's a fee for some of those.
Great. Any other questions? Cathi, I posted the link to the video of photo managers and their clients because that video that you were going to share is not posted yet. So I posted that video so they could see a number of photo managers and their clients.
Yeah. You know what, we're going to redo that. We did that for Save Your Photos Month, and we had, I think, 3 or 4 photo managers ask their clients to come on to do a live webinar and tell people like what happened and what was it like working with their photo managers. It's a great video, so definitely watch that. Again, because I can tell you this all day long, but when you see true customers talking about their experience with their professional photo manager, it says a lot more than anything that I could possibly say. So any other questions?
No, none right now. Nope.
Well, thank you for your time again. We'd love to welcome you to the photo managers if you join by the end of the month, the end of December. January is a great time to, this is in some ways joining in December, taking like your time to kind of go through things and be ready to really launch a business like in January when everybody's kind of in that, oh, it's time to get organized month, can make a lot of sense. But we definitely, if you have any more questions, feel free to reach out. We are here. We're a resource for you. And we'd love to welcome you to our growing community.
And just really quickly, I just want to mention to Cathi that if you're a new member, we're also giving you a discount on coming to conference this year. So new members within the last year will get a discount for their first conference. So you'll want to look into that as well.
Oh, and Robin, you know what? We don't use a code only because we do have a lot of, like last month we had 17 new members. I think we had somebody from Poland, Germany, Malaysia. I mean,
a couple countries, yeah.
Yeah, but we kind of know, we want to make sure that we kind of know that you probably watch the webinar and things like that.
Yep, and we can tell by the dates, yep.
Yes, and Desiree, that discount applies to both the virtual conference and the in-person conference. That's new because we realize, conferences are not inexpensive. And we know that has made a huge difference in the businesses of many of our members. They come year after year. And unfortunately, conference costs keep going up. And so we wanted to be able to pass that savings down to our newest members to help you be able to, because that really can be a game changer. And that's when you really make those friendships. Members have made lifelong friendships. It's a wonderful group. I always say we're kind of self-selecting. If you love people and love stories, you're kind of tend to like the people. You meet new people, you're pretty interested. So coming to a conference or going to a virtual conference, everybody's pretty friendly. And again, because it's just by the nature of the work, I think, that we do. So. All right. Well, thank you, everybody. Thanks, Kim. And have a great holiday season, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye.